Hey, Carbie from Carbie's Chilli once again. How we all growing? Well, we've got chilies. So what do we do with them? We can sit around and look at them, and we can have games on who can eat the hottest, but why don't we try putting them to something that everyone can enjoy? So we're going to do a recipe for Carbie's Caribbean Habanero sauce. You're going to love it. Just to quickly run through what we're going to need. We've got some fresh pineapple, some fresh mango, obviously fresh habaneros. We'll want some water, lime juice, lemon juice. I'm using the bottle type because it is just so much easier at the moment. Now you can use fresh, because we live in paradise, it's quite easy to find fresh. However, canned is fine and so is frozen, so it doesn't particularly matter. We're using some allspice, some brown sugar, some apple cider vinegar, and some salt and water. And more habaneros if we decide, because we're avid chili heads, it needs to be a bit hotter. Okay, so let's get into it. First thing we do.
What quantities are we
Roughly,
rocking here?
you want a couple of cupfuls of fresh pineapple. As I say, it doesn't have to be fresh. So we've got a couple of cupfuls. A couple of fresh mangoes, as in 2. And mangoes will always land on the floor. And don't worry, I have cleaned and sterilised my hands. Now the recipe, originally, before I played with it, called for 2 habaneros. To me that instantly means 8. Because we're chili heads and we just love the heat. So, first things first, all your fresh fruit in a blender. And let's give it some welly. Okay, when using chilies, always use extra caution, don't do what I just done and brush my face. Be careful, they are hot. Okay, so we've now pureed our fresh fruit, mango, pineapple, habanero, into a saucepan. Make sure you get it all out. Okay, we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. We need approximate juice of a lime, about a tablespoon. Same again with some lemon juice. A little bit of salt to taste. I tend to use Himalayan salt, but that's just me. We need a pinch of allspice, just a pinch. And that's about all you'll need in that, otherwise you'll overpower it. Now sugar, we're going to need a tablespoon. That's a tablespoon. You're good enough on that one. And then we need a couple of tablespoons of cider vinegar. I always tend to use organic, but cider vinegar is fine. Just a couple, and one for good luck. And that's it. That's the ingredients done. And then, just to make it a little bit more, we'll get more out of it, we'll put some water in. We turn it on, bring it to the boil, then let it simmer for 10 minutes. Good 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, so now we've simmered the sauce for 10 minutes. Now just at this point, as you saw me say earlier, we've got 8 habaneros in here. I would recommend that you probably start off with 2 or 3 and taste the sauce just before you cook it. If you want to add more you can. If it's too hot you can't take anything out. Let's say because we're chili heads we love it. So what we're going to do now is take the sauce and we're going to put it through a strainer. So we're only after. This ends up very much like a Tabasco sauce consistency. just make sure that we strain it through. Push as much through as you can. So you're not actually going to get the flesh of the pineapple or the meat of the mango and the habanero. We're just going to get the actual sauce that's coming out. So we'll let that now just sit and sift through. And then once that's cooled, we're going to put it into jars.